Hi everyone, welcome back to our series on the Korean news. Today we're going to be continuing with the story that we were doing last time. 박근혜 전 대통령은 1심 재판이 열리던 지난해 10월부터 재판을 보이콧하고 있으며 이날 항소심 선고 공판에도 참석하지 않았다. Former President Park has been boycotting the trial since October last year when the first trial was held and did not attend the appeals court's final trial on this day either. A lot of the words here were actually featured in our first video, like 일심, 항소심, 선고, 공판. So if you're not familiar with the words, I encourage you to go back and just watch the first video quickly before continuing. And this expression here, 재판이 열리다, is a fixed expression, just like we say in English to hold court or hold a trial. In Korean you say 재판이 열리다, so a trial is opened. 이에 대해 재판부는 피고인이 반성하는 모습을 보이지 않고 정당한 이유 없이 출석을 거부하고 있다며 Regarding this, the Justice Department said, the defendant shows no signs of remorse and is refusing to attend without any proper reason. And this sentence will be continued in the next slide. As you can see here, it sort of leaves off mid-sentence. This word 피고인 is actually pretty easy to remember if you know some of these constituent hanja that it's made up of. So 피 is the same one as in 피해 or 피의자, so it's something passive, like you're suffering or something's happening to you, you're suffering something. Like 피해 is literally suffering damage. 피의자 is so to suffer or to passively receive suspicion, suspicion, and 자 is person. So it's someone who is under suspicion, which is what a suspect is. And here the 고 in 피고인 is to be accused of something. Could also be to announce or report, like in some of these other words here, like 광고 or 경고, 고백. But in this case, obviously it means accused, so it's literally the person, in, who is, or who is under, 피, an accusation, 고. So the person who's being accused is the defendant, because they're defending themselves against an accusation. 진실이 밝혀지길 바라는 국민의 마지막 여망마저 저버려 엄벌이 불가피하다고 밝혔다. And this is a continuation from the previous sentence. So the judge said, severe punishment is unavoidable as she has betrayed even the nation's last expectations, hoping for the truth to be revealed. This word here, 저버리다, often goes together with words like hope, 희망, or in this case, 여망. 불가피하다 is also pretty easy to remember if you can associate some of the hanja with words you already know. So 불 is, I'm sure all of you know, not or no. So not, and 가 is the same one as in 가능하다, so possible. So far we have not possible. And 피 is the same one as in 피하다 or 회피하다, which means to avoid something. So something is not possible to avoid. Hence we get unavoidable. 한편 이날 항소심 결과로 인해 박 전 대통령의 복역 기간은 총 33년이 됐다. Meanwhile, as a result of the appeals court on this day, former President Park's prison term has become, or reached, a total of 33 years. Nothing in particular that I'd like to comment on here, so just take a look at the vocabulary if you need to, and we'll move on to the next slide. 국가정보원 특수활동비 수수 사건, 공천 개입 사건 등으로 1심에서 징역 8년이 선고된 상태다. She was already sentenced to 8 years of imprisonment in the first trial for the incident of receiving special activity funds from the National Intelligence Service and the incident of interfering in nominations, presumably nominations for some kind of public post or an election. The 국가정보원 is basically like the NSA, I suppose, in the United States. It's just an intelligence agency. In this word 사건, just note the pronunciation is a hard G here. It's like a double G. It's not 사건, but 사건. 공천 is another one of these words that, if you look at it carefully, you probably actually know words that it's made up of, so it's not too hard to remember, or at least just to recognize or figure out from context. So 공 means public, as in 공공장소, a public place, for instance. And 천 is the same one as in 추천, which is to recommend, so it's public recommendation. So as I mentioned a minute ago, probably a recommendation for some kind of public post or for an election of some kind. And with that, I'd like to wrap up this video and this news story. So in just 2 videos, you've actually covered an entire news story. And if you've been following the series so far, you've gone through 2 entire news stories. And as you can see, in this particular story, for instance, it may have been harder at the start because a lot of these words were unfamiliar and you might not have seen them before. But now by the end of the second video, they've already appeared quite a few times. So hopefully you've gotten some exposure to them. And even if you don't use them yourself, or if you don't remember them actively, hopefully you'll at least passively remember seeing some of these words later on if you're reading or listening to something. So thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.